So if you look at here, last class, just we were discussing about the variables only, constants and IO statement. I did not start. So let me start for today's class a variable. So just I wanted to mention that the memory structure was now we have seen similar to this way, where we are trying to represent a memory with each cell like this, and each location has a memory, not memory, some kind of bytes basically. So yesterday what we have started with the definition of a variable is it is a property of a memory. Is the property of the memory where data can be modified during the execution of a program. This is more important to all of you, right? We are trying to just a minute, somebody is waiting. Let me accept your friend. Yeah, so what I just wanted to mention here is I think we also discussed that the CPU or ALU, right? The CPU, in fact, it has got internally ALU. Before the CPU, there is which block is going to be playing a role? Who is going to contact with the CPU? Can anybody remember and tell now?
Compiler.
Very good. So compiler. Very good. Compiler, and it is a user. Okay, whenever user wanted to do some kind of algorithm or write a program in the C, they will first have to get the memory to store the inputs and outputs. To get that memory, you need to ask for a computer or a CPU to allocate some memory in the RAM. But ultimately, the compiler is going to decide how much memory is important. A compiler only will decide what type of data you are trying to save and process the data. So when you set the compiler that I think I have given an example of some statement in the last class, which is int a. So it indicates that it is an integer variable. It is an integer variable. So what compiler will do is it will simply go to the memory. It will allocate 2 bytes of memory, and when it is 2 bytes or 4 bytes based on the type of compiler, it will give some name. So name is A. So I'm giving this is A is called basically name of the memory, and you can also call it variable A. So the moment I call variable A, these 2 locations, whatever data you are trying to write initially, it can be modified during the execution of the program. That you must remember the definition of a variable for the C programming. Is it clear? Any doubts in this? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So the meaning of a variable in the C programming is getting the allocation of a memory from the RAM by the compiler, so that a user can write some data into that. That's the meaning of it. Now the thing is, I wanted to mention some points. Variable can hold only one value. That is more important. So I'm just writing, which you must remember. Variable can hold only one value. Something like, same example I'll take, int a is equal to 10. So generally this particular statement, right? This particular statement is called declaration statement. Declaration statement. Let me underline it. Whereas this is called same declaration statement with a definition. Declaration statement with variable is defined. With variable is defined. The meaning is, in the first case, right? So the underlined part you must remember the differences. Now what is the meaning of here is when you may A. So there is a memory now onwards I'm trying to represent a simple rectangular box to indicate it is maybe 4 bytes because I'm following a Linux compiler. A block of 4 bytes will be allocated, but nothing is there. Nothing means we don't know what kind of data is available. When nothing is there, we call it as a garbage. We call it as garbage, or only memory is allocated, but in that memory nothing is there, or whatever is there which is of not in use for us. It's called garbage. Coming to the second case, same 4 bytes will be allocated. The name of the variable is A, and where I am going to get value is a 10 in that. So this is called defined. The location of the memory of 4 bytes with the name of A is defined with a value. So what type of value? Can anybody tell? Is it what type of data type this 10 belongs to? Anybody? Very good. So integer data type. Now I said one of the important point here, the variable can hold only one value. Second point you must remember. Second point. No two variables can have same name. What is the meaning of it is, suppose I am declaring two different data types. One is int A, then float A. So which is not acceptable. Not acceptable. Or else I can call it for error. Because even though you are trying to allocate a memory of one block with name A, which is purely integer. Again, you are trying to allocate a memory of A with a float. Even though both of them are different data types, but names variable is integer variable, float variable. So no two variables can have the same name. So which is also not acceptable. So you are supposed to give this float name or this integer name something else other than A. So that is the meaning of it. So all of you must remember these important points only I am trying to write here. So variable can hold only one value. It is more important. And suppose I am trying to, after during the execution, only one time only declaration is required. In between the program, just I wanted to write. If I wanted to do something like this, A is equal to maybe some 15. The moment you write A equal to 15 during the execution of the program, this 10 will be overwritten by 15. So that is the meaning of it. Everybody understood? It is a property of the memory where data can be modified during the execution of the program. So initially at the start of the program, we have started with a declaration statement int A is equal to 10, which is nothing but we are trying to declare a statement with a variable is defined. Now during the program execution, I feel that okay, job of 10 initially the value what I have written it is done. Then I wanted to make use of the same location with some other value. So simply I can write A is equal to 15. Then the memory whatever it has a value 10 will be overwritten by the 15. So this is what the first two important points you must remember. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts you can ask. Okay, I'm just trying to moving into the next topic called constants. In fact, I can write variable and constant so that you can have the differences, variable and constant. So the meaning of variable and constant, same thing. Coming to the variable, as we have discussed that the value of the particular memory can be modified during the execution of the program. Coming to the constant is not possible. Okay, so let me take an example how we take declaration of the same A with a constant. Whenever you write a word, keyword generally we call CONST before the data type int A is equal to 10, then what is going to happen is a memory is created of 4 bytes and the value is defined in this. Now we have taken two situations in the variable. A variable or memory is allocated without a definition and memory is allocated with a definition. But you make sure that constant can never be declared without a definition. It must be declared. It must be declared with a definition. Otherwise, it won't work. Something like this: CONST int b is equal to 10, it is error. Why? Because at the time of declaration only a definition is expected. Here what you did is, even though you have made a memory with a constant property within 4 bytes of locations and name is b, this property, like property of this memory is constant. The memory got the property that it must not be modified. Must not be modified. So I think definition is very simple. When you try to declare a constant, it is a property of the memory in which the value cannot be modifiable, cannot be updated during the execution of the program. That's the definition. So very simple way I'm trying to explain here. So when you write const into b without any value, b is equal to, so it is of no use. Whenever it is allowed, there is no error in that in terms of declaring a constant with int space b without any definition. But whatever memory is allocated, in this, what is the value available, nobody knows. So it's the garbage only. It remains garbage, which is of no use for us. So that is the reason I always try to. I think this is not correct. This is correct. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? So when the moment you write const before the data type declaration int a becomes, it is a constant. So we call it as, it is not variable now. It's a memory location constant. Still name is a constant integer. The name is a. And generally, when do we use this constants means, I think all of you might have used your scientific calculator in first semester, am I right? Maybe for some applied mechanics or some physics kind of thing. You might have used the scientific calculator or not? Tell me.
Yes.
Yeah, in the scientific calculator, when you purchase, in the calculator, no, that cap, you see there is a card will be inserted. The card has so many constants, maybe epsilon, maybe permeability, permittivity. Did you see any time? Boltzmann constant. I think in the physics, so many mathematical equations have some constants, no?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you are trying to perform that kind of mathematical operations where you need constants, where Boltzmann constant or some, I don't know, physics, so many constants used in your calculations. So in that case, you wanted to write some value into the memory. So these constants are useful to us. Even the pi value is going to be changed, or it will be remain same in your mathematics. When you want to calculate area of a circle or maybe circumference of the circle, what is the formula of that?
Pi r square.
Yeah, pi r square or 2 pi r. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
In this, what could be the variable? R is a variable. Yeah, R is a variable and pi is constant. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Constant, which is constant int pi is equal to 3.1414. Then you can write int r is equal to some radius value. So r can be modified, because when user wanted to calculate the area of a circle, where user wanted to calculate every time with a different radius, but any number of times user is trying to execute the program of finding the area of a circle, only radius is going to be modified, but not the constant pi. So in that case, you can write or you can declare a name of the pi as constant. Is it clear? Is it clear or not?
Sir.
Okay, fine. Now, when I declare constant c is equal to 10 and c is equal to 10 plus 5, is it okay? Is it acceptable? Tell me. Is it acceptable or not?
No.
No.
No, sir.
Okay, you cannot assign and you cannot update, in fact. Okay, cannot be updated. Cannot be updated due to its property. Due to its property. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next we will discuss about types of constants. Types of constants. So coming to the types of constant, we have first integer constant. Just now I mentioned integer constant, where you can define something like this: const, not complete name, const, then int a is equal to 10. This is how you need to define. This is an example of how you are trying to prepare an integer constant. Now, when you try to have an integer constant, the value of the variable can have only numbers, no special characters allowed in between the numbers. When we try to declare a constant, the numbers should not have any special characters. Because generally we studied right from our school days. If somebody wanted to mention some high more number of digits, we try to differentiate by using a comma: tens, then hundreds, then thousands, then lakhs, then crores. Is it not? Generally that's how you do it. I'm trying to give some of the way of how you can write. This is acceptable. Maybe some other number acceptable. This is okay. Okay, whenever I'm writing the / star followed by forward, it is basically a useful comment. I'll try to explain later when I'm writing what is that program. But right now, just remember it is called a constant. Just a minute. It is comment. What is the meaning of a comment? I will tell you. Then I'm trying to write some more examples here. Maybe 7,567. Maybe some 10 lakhs, 4,000, maybe 523. I think 04 it has to come. I don't know, something. This is not acceptable. Okay, so this is error. Is it clear to all of you? No special characters are allowed. It's something like dollar. You are trying to represent this way, $2. You also not, because dollar is also a special character. So the constant should have only numbers. Constants should have only numbers. So that is the reason it's called constant. 7567 negative also is acceptable. 0 is also acceptable, but not with the special characters. Dollars, comma, space. So all these things you are not supposed to use for integer constant. Second type of constant we call it as float constant. Float constant. So similar to the data type how we define for the integer, we take a word called float, maybe some a again. A is equal to 10.23. As I said in the very beginning, first or second class. So first or second class, any number which is a fractional number or mixed number where integer and fractional part is available, we call it as a float. So here you can see again 4 bytes of memory is allocated where 10.23 is there, so 4 bytes. But 4 bytes with the property of the number can be a mixed data type, or it can have only a fractional part, it can have both integer and fractional part. Anything is okay. The name of this location is given as an A. So 10.23. Again, rules for it is it should have only one decimal. Only one decimal point. So examples are something like I will give you 10.58, 1.23, 1.001. These are all okay. Whereas 10.58.23, maybe 1.00.23. So this is not okay. Is it clear to all of you? Float constant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then let me go to the character constant. Third type of constant is called character constant. Write it as character constant. The character constant is declared something like this. Again, it will not change. CONST will be all the time it is available. The data type is defined by char, maybe some value a again is equal to alphabet. So whenever you are trying to indicate a character constant, it can have alphabets, digits, special characters, or special characters enclosed within a single quotes. In a single quote, this is more important. So examples are maybe constant. Okay, I will not complete this one. Instead of that, I'll just write this is allowed. This is allowed. I think O and 0 will get confused. Maybe this is allowed. This is also allowed. This is also allowed. Okay. Normal space also you can do this way. Nothing you can type in that. And there are some escape sequences which I did not tell, but I'll just try to write. This is called. I'll write all the escape sequences. What do you mean by it? I'll tell later. Okay, just I'll try to keep like this. So there are some more escape sequences are there, but right now you try to. This is called new line character. The name of this particular symbol, new line character. Later I will explain what exactly this means. Then it's called tab. Tab means basically 5 spaces. Then it is called null character. Null character. Then it's called backspace. Actually, there's something. Alarm is also there. It is called alarm. So like this, there are some escape sequences. So alphabets, digits, special characters, and then escape sequences. These are all called escape sequences. They are all called escape sequences. I'll tell you what do you mean by all of them during the program execution. So I hope this is clear. It can have a plus minus also. Nothing wrong in this. So the character constant must be defined with any alphabet or a digit or a special character or any escape sequence within a single quote. This is called character constant. Again, try to remember. This A is different. This A is different. This is the name of the memory. The name of memory, where that memory has got a property being a constant. Where this is the data which we are going to store in that memory. Okay, it is something like your house is, at the compound wall or outside, you write some name to your house. So that is name. Data means the family members who are there, who are residing in that house. That is something like that. Okay, so every house is going to be referred by a name. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you? Okay, fine. Then I'll go with string constant, the fourth type. It's called string constant. So string constant is declared with an example here, CONST. It will be char, slight change with a square brackets. I'll tell you why square bracket and at the middle of the semester, not initially, but try to remember how to declare a character constant. So something like maybe university. So you can see here, university is more than one character, and whenever you try to represent a word for the memory, generally we take help of the strings, and every string must be enclosed within a double quotes. So just you try to remember that every string must be enclosed in double quotes. Character is enclosed in single quotes, string is enclosed in double quotes. I'll try to tell you some examples here. It is a single character. It is a single character. When I'm going to write this way, It is a string. So what is the difference, you might ask? So difference is very simple. One single character needs only 1 byte of data. I think we have seen in the last class. 1 byte, where A is going to be saved. When it is a string, it is something which is in return. There will be 2 locations. One is A, the second is called null character. So more than 1 letter is called a string. Even though I have not written a \0 here, whenever you include something in a double quotes, by default, after the whatever text you have written, at the end of the text, a \0 is appended. So this is called 2 bytes basically. Similarly, if I'm going to write university, so internally how memory is going to be represented is, in an enumerator, how many locations I'm supposed to consider here from the class? How many locations I should consider to store the university? How many letters this university has?
11. 10.
10, right? 10 plus 1. Default. What is the extra
11.
character? Null character. So U N I V E R S I T Y. Is it clear? Total 11 bytes, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bytes. 11 bytes will be allocated for the memory to store the string cons. Is it clear? And suppose somebody is wantedly writing a null character, something like this. University. Can you tell me what exactly the computer is going to process? Even though while saving, it will be saving this way, not a problem. Can you tell me how many letters it is? Tell me.
6 letters, sir, and 1 null character.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Basically, memory has got 12 locations. Because wantedly I have included some null character, and also default one more null character will be there at the end. Correct or not? University. But when you try to print the text now, the CPU process the text until null character. What do you mean by it? CPU process the text until the null character. When you try to print this particular text, what is going to be printed? Up to universe. City will not be processed by the. So that is the reason there is no rule of no writing the null character between the text. Even though you wantedly writing, it is of useless actually. The computer might accept in terms of the saving into the memory, but whenever you wanted to display on the monitor, unfortunately you are unable to get it SITY, because after the null character, whatever you write, it will be ignored by the CPU. Only univer only you can able to see it. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. And one more thing is, in this you can also write this way. Same alphabets, special character, anything is acceptable. 1, 2, 3, 4. If at all your roll number wanted to represent something like this, it should be a combination of any alphabet. Alphanumeric also you can write. There's nothing wrong. Then you can write underscore ABC 1, 2, 3 is also acceptable. So anything, there's nothing wrong. $P, C, then maybe some star, all are acceptable in this. So this is okay. Okay. So this is what string constant. Then before I continue, just I wanted to mention the characters, right? Now there's something called, have you heard about this abbreviation anytime? Have you heard about this ASCII?
American Standard Code.
Yeah, American Standard Code. What? American Standard
Information
Code.
and interchange. For information.
For information interchange. Information interchange. So what it indicates that, see, any product you wanted to buy in the market, how do you make sure that it is quality? No, it is a product of high quality. What is the? How do you measure it? Tell me. Anything you buy from the market, you wanted to ensure that it is a good product. How do you ensure? Tell me.
ISI mark.
Very good. There is something called ISI mark. For food safety also, you know, some FSCCI, something like that. Nowadays you are able to see food related items, food safety and something like FSSSI, something like that. Okay, I don't remember exactly the form, but ISI mark or some food safety. These are all certificates. These are standards actually. So anything which you order to make in the market and release, so it should follow certain standards. So until under that certification is not there, you cannot accept. So what does it mean that across the globe, across the world, if anybody would like to make something generalized so that it should be acceptable across the globe. Similarly, with the computer, no, if I'm typing some character in the US or I'm typing same key in the India or some other place, don't you think the same kind of no text is going to be printed on the monitor? You can able to see that? Yes or no? We have so many countries, and so many countries are making these computers, and all the computers should have some standard. There should be some understanding between the CPU and your keyboard. In the keyboard, you might be having some 101 keys or 102 keys. Each key you try to press, and same thing has to be printed on the screen. Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is one group group of people. They just made some rules. Whoever is going to make this keyboard and the CPU interfacing, any key you try to press on the keyboard, the same kind of data must be represented by the CPU. So that is called ASCII standard. So total 256 keys are defined. Total 256 codes are defined. Out of this 256 codes, we follow only some codes. I'll try to tell you. Capital A to capital Z is represented by the value 65 to 90. I guess 65 to 90 becomes 26 letters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, small a to small z is represented by 97 to 122. I guess again it will be 26. Yes or no? Next 0 to 9 is represented by 48 to 57. Whenever you type your message in your WhatsApp, or you type in the message you want to send from the mobile, text I'm talking about, do you use any other than this, or widely used the group of letters? I think it should be small a to small z, or a capital to capital Z, or 0 to 9. Yes or no? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
26, 26, 10. Total how much? 52. Out of the 256, 52 we know direct. I mean, you must remember this 52 is widely used representation. For a computer, any character we type, internally CPU will process by its numbers. Computer.
62 ka sir.
Sorry?
62,
okay,
sir. Not
62.
52.
Okay, fine. Let me correct. 62. So computer process every character by its ASCII value. Its ASCII value. I'll give you an example. A greater than B. Is it possible to perform in the computer? Certainly it is possible, because for us it could be A, it will be B, but computer A is what? This is for
65.
user. Yeah, 65 greater than B is what?
66.
Yeah, this is for computer. So computer will give result. What result? Is it true or false? Computer gives
False.
false, because 65 is lesser than 66. So in our programming, we might use characters. I think it is not right way. This is correct way. Correct or not? Simply writing A greater than B is wrong. To mention a character A and character B, you must enclose within single quotes. You must tell all these things, right? I might forget sometimes, and sometimes wantedly also I might write. So I just want all the students to point out that any character must be enclosed within a single quotes. Whereas strings you cannot compare, which is invalid. I'm trying to write in the below. Strings also can be compared, but it is a different way. I'll tell you. Okay. It can be compared, but what is the reason? How it is going to be valid? I'm telling you. Maybe some ABC I'm writing here. Maybe XYZ. Okay. So whenever you write this way, what is going to happen is whenever you write this one, internally ABC is represented by 3 locations. Maybe this is A, this is B, this is C. It has some address, maybe some 5000. Again, XYZ is represented by again 3 more locations. Because 3 bytes in total, 1 to 4 bytes actually. And character is also there. Do not forget these simple things. Okay, maybe this is 6000. So every string for a computer is internally represented by address. Try to remember. Every string internally represented by, I'm talking about constant, right? String constant. Every string constant, that is more accurate. Right here. Every string constant internally represented by its address. So in this example, what is the address for the ABC? What is the address for ABC? Tell me. Anybody? Is it not C 0x5000? Yes or no? Respond. I am asking you only. You don't want to respond? Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So if you don't respond, I feel there might be some net interruption or something like that. Similarly, 0x. Should I call 6000 or 0x6000 or 5000? How do I pronounce? 5000 hexadecimal is different from a decimal 5000. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Even then, can you tell me is it true or false? False, no. Whether hexadecimal or decimal, obviously the most significant bit is going to be computed first. So 5 is lesser than 6. So where we are writing greater than, so which is a false statement. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, very good. Now I'm trying to go to today's class. Just I wanted to tell you there are 3 things. Actually, last class only I'm supposed to complete. One is variables, which we discussed. Constants also we discussed. Then we are trying to talk about IO statement. So the meaning of IO statement is, for the first time we are trying to write a simple C program. But before that, I'll just try to mention what is an IO statement. The IO statement is basically full form is input and output. Okay, input and output statement. So input and output statement is, we have, again, this is CPU, we have, this is memory, maybe I'll represent this way, and we have output unit, which is display monitor, then we have a keyboard. This is what we discussed, no? Initial computer and all, how it is going to be represented and all.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay. So the whole processing will happen in here only, no? The execution is happening inside the CPU. Yes or no? Execution is performed by the CPU. Now the meaning of input and output statement is, we are trying to remember what must be the instruction or a statement which can be given to this memory, So that actually whatever you type now, it cannot go directly here. So it has to be through CPU only. So suppose I wanted to I want to perform some addition, right? So I'll give you some example here. The first C program I'm trying to write, which is very basic program. First I'll discuss about the output statement. I just mentioned one of the example in the previous classes. Hash include stdio.h. This must be the include file. Generally preprocessor is going to expand this particular line. Then I'm trying to use void. It's the standard syntax of how you start your C program. Then main will be the at least one function. The name of the function is the smallest code, or minimum one function must be there in C program, which is given by a name main. Any word followed by the parenthesis. These are the symbols for brackets of called parenthesis. Any name followed by a parenthesis indicates it's a function. So at least every C program should have one function. Here simply I'm writing one statement inside this. Print f hello world, right? I think it's a 99% people use this one only. So total how many lines this program has? Can anybody tell? Line number 1, line number 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. This is 5. Total 5 lines code is there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so I said this is processed by the preprocessor. Preprocessor is going to expand this file. One line will be replaced by maybe 100 lines. Example. This is called entry point for the C program. I think in the PPT on the first class, I think, right? I think day before, I think previous to previous class. Entry point of the C program. Entry point of C program. Every function must be associated with a block of code. The block will be represented by opening and closing flower brackets or curly brackets. Anything is okay. It's a block. Starting of a block. Start of a block. This represents end of a block. End of a block. Alternative block can be also represented by a function. You want to have more clear way. So every C program should have an entry point of the main. After that, it should have a curly brackets, opening and closing. In between whatever you write, we call it as an algorithm or the statements. Algorithm or statements. Generally, when it's algorithm, I think so many steps you need to write, and it has to give some kind of solution for a given problem. Right now, how many statements it has? I'm talking about the algorithm. How many statements it has?
One statement.
Only one statement. What is the name of the statement? Print. Yeah, printf. Within the brackets, we are trying to mention what type of constant it is. When you write something within a double quotes, what is called?
String
Constant, right? So whenever you are passing, means every function which is given a name called printf, within the bracket, if you mention within the double quotes whatever text, this text will be displayed on this monitor directly. That's the meaning of it. Okay. So here, am I taking anything from the keyboard? Except typing the program, while execution, do I take anything from the keyboard or only printing on the monitor? You tell me.
Only printing on the monitor.
So okay, yeah, this program is only talking about only the output statement. There is nothing like input. Correct or not? The syntax for the printf is very simple. Syntax. Syntax means rules you should follow whenever you are trying to write output statement. So I'm just writing only the name of the function is printf. You should open the brackets. It can be having one variable or constant or two, variable 2. It's multiple you can give actually. Variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. Generally it's called a function with variable number of statement. Generally we consider it as function with variable number of statements. So don't get confused with this variable and that variable. With variable number of means it can have only, here how many variables we have? Only one variable, string type, right or not? string constant, but I'm trying to give some programs in maybe 1 or 2 classes. I'm just trying to take, there are 2 things we are going to, everything will be separated by a comma. So here I'm not using any comma here. Whenever you are using a comma, the printers, you are trying to pass more than one variable. That's the meaning of it. So every variable will be separated by a comma. So there are no commas in this one. So I indicate that within the double quotes, I'm writing some text, means the whole text becomes one variable, or you're trying to keep it as one parameter. Is it okay? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so printer is a name. Then within the brackets, you should enclose within double quotes for the first variable. Remaining variables can be double quotes, or it could be without any quotes. First variable must be included with a double quote. That is more important. I'll give you an example. I think it will print simply hello world. When you execute this program, while writing this program, everything will be saved in the hard disk. Actually, I should have this is separate hard disk. And once you execute this program, the whole exe file, right? We have seen already how the source file is converted in executable file. The whole program is copied here. From here, it will go to the CPU. CPU to monitor, it will print. That's the meaning of it. Is it clear? Hard disk to the RAM to the CPU, and CPU to the monitor. This is how the flow will be. Okay? The moment you execute, the moment we execute the program. Is it clear? Whatever program I have written in the right hand side, the moment you execute, on the hard disk you will find a file, you double click on it, it will be transferred into memory, from memory to the CPU, CPU to the monitor. Actually, I should not say, actually it should go to CPU to the memory, memory to the monitor. Actually, monitor cannot be directly connected here. It should be like this again it should be like this. This is correct. I think in the first class I said no IO devices will directly connected to the CPU. Is it clear or not? Tell me. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm trying to give you the last topic, last statement of this today's class, which is called input statement. Input statement is nothing but the CPU is expecting an input from the keyboard, in general input device. That is the meaning of it. So again, I'm writing one example here. I wanted to perform some simple addition of 2 numbers. So again, I will follow the same example. Hash include stdio. It does not change. It is always there. stdio.h. Then void main. Then I'm trying to declare 2 variables to get the data, int a, int b. You can write within a single statement also, but very first class I'm trying to tell you, I'm declaring 2 variables. One is a, other one is a b. Both of them variables are constant. You tell me. They are variables or constants? Variables. Because I did not write any
variables.
I did not write any const before the data type. Then we call input statement equal scanf. Scanf needs format specifier first. And right now I'll just take like this. What does it mean? I'll tell you within 1 or 2 classes. Then simply I think you need one more variable to store the result into C. C is equal to a plus b. Printf. Sum is capital D, C, and that's it. Okay, here I think all of you can understand these 3 statements without any hesitation. 3 memory locations, maybe 2 bytes or 4 bytes with the name A. Again 4 bytes with the name B. Again 4 bytes with the name C. Is there any values available in these three boxes? Tell me.
No, sir.
Because it's the declaration without any definition. Yes or no? Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The moment a scanf is executed by the CPU, you will get a screen. You will get a screen with the cursor started blinking. Cursor starts blinking, indicates that the moment you execute here, actually at this point of time, you will get a screen to take the input. Okay, when cursor start blinking, you are supposed to type from the keyboard. Suppose I'm typing, because how many percentages have written here?
2.
No, sir.
Yeah, you are supposed to enter only 2, separated by a space or enter, anything is okay. I'm just typing 5, I'm typing enter, again 10, again enter. The moment you type 5, then enter, again 10, then enter, this A, right? A will be updated with a 5, B will be updated with a 10. So it means you are declaring the memory of 3 locations, A, B, and C with a garbage. By using a scanf, because of these 2 percentile Ds, the compiler or this particular software is giving a provision to the user. They can type inputs of their wish. So I can type 5 and 10 in the very first attempt. Maybe some other time if I execute, I might give some 20 and 30. Anything is up to us, up to our requirement. Or else space also is acceptable. Space I cannot represent here. I can simply write 20 space 35, then followed by enter you're supposed to give. So the moment you enter 20 space 35, the 5 will be, instead of 5 it will be 20, instead of 10 it will be 35. So we are trying to define the memory by using a keyboard. Yes or no? In our discussion, I said a declaration of the memory with a definition. It indicates that in the program itself we are defining the value of the variable. But here there is an alternative way of defining the variables by using a keyboard. So whenever you wanted to define a variables with a keyboard, you supposed to use which statement?
Scan.
Very good. So we call it an input statement. Scanf is needed. Now I'll tell you what is this. Basically, whatever you write in the double quotes followed by a comma, this particular is a format specifier. Format specifier. Okay. What do you mean by format specifier? In the next class I'll explain. And ampersand A and ampersand B indicates to which memory you are trying to update these 2 numbers, 20 and 30, or 20 and 35, or 5 and 10. So immediately you should mention, because I have 3 names here, A, B, and C. Whatever numbers I'm typing here, it must reach to A and it must reach to B, but not C. That is the reason you should write ampersand A and ampersand B. Then automatically this first memory location will be updated by 5 and second memory location will be updated by 10. If I'm giving the first inputs, second input will be 20, and it's every time you execute different times. Then finally, what is the C is equal to A plus B? What is the value of A plus B? Tell me. Maybe 5 and 10 I am giving. Then what is the result?
15.
Then CV is going to be updated, right, at the time. Then printf, the sum is, again the way inputs are taken with a format specifier, output also must be printed with a format specifier only, within the double quotes, format specifier. So how many percentages I'm trying to print? Only 1 or 2?
1, sir.
That to result, no?
Yes,
Or
sir.
not? So result is percentage D. I'm writing here \n double quotes comma. Which memory I'm trying to print? A, B, or C?
C.
C.
So that is the reason C is written here. If you write A here, you'll get a 5 as an output. If you write a B here, you'll get 10 as an output. If you write a C, you'll get a result as your output. Okay. So this is an input statement to read the data from the keyboard into the memory. We call a memory can be defined by not only by direct definition within the declaration statement. And now here I'm trying to give you a simple clarification. These 3, whatever I've written called declaration statements. Declaration statements. I'll just try to keep in the comments. Star forward slash followed by a star and star followed by forward slash. Remaining these 3 are called processed by the CPU. We call executable statements. Executable statements. So here declaration statements are processed by the compiler, executable statements are processed by CPU. Is it clear? I'm writing a note. Declaration statements are processed by compiler, because memory allocation and all compiler will take care. When it comes to the executable statements are processed by CPU. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, with this I'll stop today's class. So I just want all of you to go back again and just go through any textbook which you are referring. I think any textbook is okay, only thing is you must understand that language, okay? So there are so many C language books are available in the market, even the online also you can download. So many lectures, so many PPTs are available, everything is okay, only thing is you must understand, that is the ultimate, the bottom line. You must understand that what is written there. So I want all of you to again practice, what is variable, what is constant, what is input statement, what is output statement, how many possible ways we can make use of that. So this is what all I expect from your side. So you should just work out on it. So with this, I'll just stop my class and I'll just stop sharing the screen. Just a minute. Let me stop recording.